Hey everyone, Kyo here. Now, as you might have seen, I haven't uploaded anything in a very long time here. That's because, as some of you know, I do have a brand new YouTube channel which focuses on gaming, basically games on hard difficulties, which I play for the very first time. And those are games that I've never played, never heard anything about, or know nothing about them. So if you're interested in having a look at something like that, feel free to look at my new channel. The link is in the description below. And yeah, hope you have fun there. Now, I know most of the subscribers here are explicitly for the Sudoku content, so I decided to keep posting the Sudokus here on this old channel, as well as some miscellaneous other videos. As you know, this is called now Kyo's old or miscellaneous channel. Now, onward to the Sudoku. Today's Sudoku is called GANXLE by Xenonetics or Xenonetics. Sorry, I don't actually know how to pronounce it. This was actually a very special Sudoku for me because this was a bounty that I have set up, and Xenonetics is the winner. The prize was €5 Steam gift card, and let me read to you the prompt. The first person who makes a variant Sudoku, either 6x6 or 9x9, which incorporates basic Sudoku rule supply and any other rule set, doesn't matter, involving the word GANXLE or incorporating it in their Sudoku and puts it on Logic Masters Germany, will get the €5 Steam gift cards from me. So how that word came together is I played Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes with Chinstrap, and on the code word section, I don't know if it's called like that, the scrambled letters, they spelled out GANXLE. So I decided, you know what, let's make a prompt about it. Of course, GANXLE, as far as I know, is not a real English word, so I give it a definition so that it can help the setters to imagine what to do. So the definition I gave for GANXLE is something nonsensical and random that turns out or creates something logical. Xenonetics created a wonderful puzzle. Link, if you want to solve it, is below as well. It is for the Cracking the Cryptic or Sven's Sudoku pad if you want to solve it. I will link Xenonetics' YouTube as well. And let's go to the rules. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku row supply. Basically, we have all the digits 1 to 6 in every row, column, and 3x2 box. All clues given are ambiguous, to be determined by the solver. Okay, there's a lot of clues. German whispers. Let me draw a blue line so it doesn't intersect anywhere. Let's just say this one as an example. One line has adjacent digits at least 3 apart. So let's say if this was a 1, this has to be at least 3 apart, so 4, 5, or 6. This one, and this one, and this one. This is a valid one because everything is 3 apart, at least. It can also be more. Next clue. Arrow. One line has an invisible bulb with 2 tips where each branch sums to the bulb. So let's say this is the bulb. I mean, it can be, well, actually in this example, it cannot be anywhere else. Let's say this is the bulb, and let's say this is a 5. So if we have something like this basically is valid because 4 plus 1 is 5 and 2 plus 3 is also 5. That is basically what it means. If the bulb was anywhere else, it's basically both sides are equal because this is 5, and this is 5. Non-consecutive. Let me remove the circle. So, non-consecutive. No digits in orthogonally no digits is orthogonally consecutive with any other. Oh, well, that example would have been done wrong, but for example, if you have a 4 here, this cannot be 5 or this cannot be 5 because they're consecutive. Diagonals are fine because it says orthogonally, but for example, if this is a 4, none of these could be a 3 or a 5 because they are consecutive. That's what it means. X sum. One outside clue. So we have a 7 and an 8. One outside clue is the sum of the first x digits where x is the first seen digit. Okay. So for example, if this was a 2, well, let's make it big. If this was a 2, and if this was an x sum, it means that the first, because this is a 2, the first 2 digits where the arrow points, need to sum to 8. So if this was a 2, this must be a 6, as you can see. If this was a 3, for example, this could have been a 4 and a 1, because the first 3 digits here have to sum to 8, and we see all 3 digits sum to 8. Little killer, one outside clue is the sum of all cells seen by the clue. Okay, so basically this means all these clues here must in total be the sum of 8. So we can have a, I don't know, 1, 2, and 5, for example. All the 3 sum to 8. With no restrictions of the first, like the X sum where the first one said how long it is, this one is the whole one. After little killers, entropic line. One line has every set of 3 sequential digits, containing one low, 1, 2, one medium digit, 3, 4, and one high digit, 5 or 6. So if we take this line, let's say the first one is a low digit, the second one is a middle digit, the third one is a high digit. And now, because it's every set, so this is low, middle, high. If we start here, it's middle, high, so this has to be low. Then we have high, low, and this has to be middle. This is basically this is what entropic line means. I think that's all the rules. They are very nice. So, let's start solving this. Just as a small note, so this puzzle is around more than 3 months old. That's why I decided to do it now. Of course, I did have a look at it way back then when Xenonetics submitted that one. Of course, I had to check if it's a valid one. I think I even solved it, but I don't remember anything. So I'll be resolving it now. And yeah, just so you know, it's not blind, even though, again, I don't remember anything. So I will go what I usually do, because I never know really how to start. I'll check all the restrictions, all the rules. If one is more, what's it called, restrictive than the others. Experienced Sudoku people know where to start, probably. I don't. I want to start with these, actually. So, because it's only 2 clues, it's X sums and little killer. So, as we saw with the 8, the interesting thing about X sum is the first digit can never be a 1, because it says the first digit sums to this, but 1 is not equal 8. So for an X sum, it can never be a 1. If it's a 2, this can be a 6. That's valid. And if this is a 3, these two have to sum to 5. Which we can have 1, 4. We can even have 2. We can have 1, 4, or even 4, 1. We can have 2, 3. We cannot have 3, 2, because that will clash. But yes, so if this was an X sum, the first digit could be only a 2 or a 3. Of course, if it's not an X sum, if it's the little killer, this can basically be anything, because this could still be still could be a 6, 1, 1, which is also 8, so no restrictions here. Maybe let's go with a 7. Just because these are 4 digits and this is a lower number, so this is more interesting. Now, if this was, what do you have? Little killer. The highest digit that can be here is a 4, and one of these has to be the 4, because everything else has to be a 1. 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 1. Okay. You cannot have a 5, because if you have a 5, then you have 1, 1, and 0. And 0 is not a valid normal Sudoku rule. So 4 is the highest digit that can be here if this was little killer. If it's an X sum, 1, again, as I proved here, is not possible, because it says only the first digit has to be 7, but it's already a 1, so 1 is not equal to 7. If this was a 2, this should be a 5, and then these don't matter. These could technically be high, or it doesn't even matter, even though 4 here would break if this was the whatchamacallit, the X sum. If this was a 3, these have to add up to 4, which is also possible. If this was a 4, oh yeah, 4, 1, 1, 1. That is also possible, but this can never be a 5 or a 6. And this is true for both Ixam and Little Killer, so I could note that down as this being never 5 or 6, no matter what the 7 is. Let's check these lines. The colored ones. I don't think entropic line helps us here in the beginning, just because this means... Oh, I even think they could be the same. Let's say 1, 3, 5. Because see, low, middle, high. This has to be low now, but it could be 1 because of basic stock. This doesn't break basic stock rules. Now this cannot be obviously 3, so it has to be 4, for example, and this is either 5 or 6. But so there's no real restriction. Also here 1, 2, 3, 4. No restriction here. I mean, this cannot be high. That's the only restriction, which means if this is not high, this cannot be high as well. 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, does that change any? I don't think so. Let's do the same example. If this is a low, this is a middle, this is a high, then we have, let's say, a low again, middle, high, and low. No, this doesn't have a restriction. We just have the same parity in the... Oh, I don't know if it's called parity here. It's basically we have either low, high, or middle, all these three, then this and this one as well, and then this and this. So that is not really a restrictive one. Let's check. So what do we have? German whispers. For German whispers, I also don't think, because we just have high, low, and let's say low is from 1 to 3 and high is from 4 to 6. So if we have high, low, oh, sorry, low, high, low, I mean, this could also be a 6, high, low, high. I mean, there's no real restriction here. I mean, it must be then the arrow, the last one. One line has an invisible bulb with 2 tips with each. Okay. So okay, this is a big line. Let's draw a bulb. I'll do it blue just because to contrast. So now obviously the bulb can never be in an end, because then there's no other side. So these two cannot have the bulb end. If this or this was the bulb, so yeah, that doesn't work. If let's say if this was the bulb, and let's say this, well, it doesn't work in many ways, because this and this have to be the same, which cannot be. And then the sum of all these have to be the sum of the has to be this, which even if we have 1, 2, 1, 2, well, no, not even, well, it's too many. Because the lowest here is 1, 2, and 3, which is already 6, and we cannot have more than 6, so it cannot be in any of these two. Now, can it be in any of these two? No, it's the same thing. If this is the bulb, we already have 6 here, 1 plus 2 plus 3, and then we have another digit, and this can be the maximum of 6. I think it's the same argument here. Yeah, this is also already a 6 plus something, cannot be. Can it be here? So I have 1, 2, 3 here, then this will be a 6. No, 1, 2, 3. So because it cannot really be 1, 2, 3, because in 3 adjacent digits, they always will be, no matter how I put them, these are consecutive, and that breaks the rule. Oh, wait, no. It is possible, because this is a different box. What if, I mean, this has to be 6 if it's here, so what if it's a 4, 1, 1? That actually works. 4, 1, 1, which is a 6. And then this cannot be a 1, so something like that. Though, see, those are not orthogonally connected, so these can be also, that technically works for this rule, German whisper. So I will leave this here and see the other ones. So what about yellow? I mean, the same logic, these cannot be. So this and this also cannot be, because this and this have to be the same, or this and this have to be the same. So I have two. Oh, interesting. Those are the two possible ones. Let's see if these are actually possible. So this one doesn't work because these three are consecutive, and what I wanted to prove here but wasn't right, it's right here. This has to be a 1, 2, 3. No matter how you put 1, 2, 3 and they're all orthogonally connected, they will always have either 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 together, which is against the non-consecutive rule. So this is not possible. Oops. What about this one? Let's see. We have 2 here. Let's say if this is 1, 2. Oh no, this cannot be 1, 2. So the minimum here is 1, 3. So this is minimum 4, which is possible. Oh, but if this is... So if this is the case, this has to be 4. This one has to be the 1 and the 3. 4. Can we make 4? 1, 2, 1. Oh, no, this is not valid because 1 and 2 are next to each other. So we cannot have that. And there's no other, yeah, combination, as you can see, that has 4 here. I mean, right? So we cannot have 4 here. 5 would go... Oh, no, I mustn't continue here. Because of my pencil mark, this can never be a 5 because of the 7 here. Let me just... So this is not a... Oh, so yellow cannot have the arrow. What about green? Again, this and this cannot be. Because they're the end. This... I mean, I'm writing both, but it's basically one or the other. This cannot be because these two have to be the same, which doesn't work. As well as these have to be the same, doesn't work. Now one of these... Oh, this cannot be it. Because again, we have 1, 2, 3, a sequence, and either one will be always together with the 2 or 2 with the 3, which is against the non-consecutive rule. What about here? That's basically like this. This is possible because this is 1, 2, and 3. That's the lowest we can get, so this will be a 6. Now, the 2 will always be here because, again, 2, if it's 1, 2, or 2, 3, if they're consecutive, so 2 has to be here. We have a 1, 3 here. And this one, I mean, it can be 1, 5. Well, it cannot be 1, 5 because 5 will be consecutive with 6, but it could be 5, 1, and it could be 2 and 4. Is it 2, 4? Yes. So this is possible. Now, so this is the only limitation, and where do the arrows go? Okay, they go here. Oh, there's something interesting. Because of the 7, I think all these have to be low. And by low, I mean never 5 or... Well, they can never be 5 or 6. It's for the German whisper mostly. I don't think any of... If one of the thing is, if one of these is 4, these also have to be high if this was the German whisper. And let's not talk about it. Okay, the arrow. So we saw... So if we take this again, let's say this is a 6, right? I mean, it must be a 6 because of this. If this is a 6, these have to be 1, 3. And this is the 2. It's basically the same thing here, where this had to be the 2 and these have to be 1, 3. Of course, I mean, sorry, 1, 2. Of course, now I'm just demonstrating they're clashing, but this is basically the same logic. Now this is 1, 3, 2, and well, this has to be 1, 1, 2, 4, right? Now this won't be a 1 here. Now this cannot be what was it called? A little killer now. No, no. No, this could be a little killer if it's a 2, 1, 1, 3. It cannot be a X sum, because if this was a 2, this has to be a 5. And if this is a... Well, this cannot be... it could be a 4, actually. Because if this was a 4, this could still be 1, 1, 1. That's not the one. Okay, and maybe not look at the 7. Oh. Oops, that's a 4. Because it's still possible. What about here? 1 or 3. If this is a, well, if this is an x sum, sorry, yeah, if it's an x sum, this cannot be a 1. This has to be a 3. And if this is a 3, well, this will be the 1. These two have to add up to 5. So it's either 1, 4 or 2, 3. Oh, and well, it cannot be 2, 3. It has to be 1. Oh, it can't be, because even if, well, oh, right, this is not either 1 or 4. So it has to be 2 or 3, but we already have 2 and 3 here. So this is not an x sum. So this must then, oh, sorry, this is a 3. No. This is still a 1 or 3. This must be little killer. So if this is a 1, these two have to be 7. Which means it needs to be a 1, 6. Oh, it cannot be a 1, 6 because it's, so 2, 5. Well, the 2 sees both of them. 3 and 4. Well, oh, but we already have a 3 here. And 4. Wow, it says 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh. Wait, the minimum of this is 5. So 1, 5, and 2. But 2. Oh, you know what? No. Okay. I see it now. Yeah, this is never possible. It's mostly because of this 2. We can never put 1 or 3 here because of the 2. So all these digits have to be at least 4, at least. Now, if we have, well, this cannot even be a 4, but let's say either a 4 or even a 5 or even the 6. Like, those are the possible digits because of the 2. Now, this can never exist now. Because we know for whatchamacallit, little killer, these are too high. I mean, if you see the minimum, even if this is 4 and 4, and I mean, it cannot be a 4, but 4 and 4 is 8, so this has to be 0, because that's the minimum. So, and for a killer, sorry, for an x sum, it cannot be a 1, because, again, it cannot be a 1 ever. If it's a 3, no, so this breaks completely, so this can never be the thing, the arrow. That was a very convoluted proof. That was way easier to say, oh, there it has to be a 2, which means it removes all the low digits. So this is the arrow. So we know this is a 6, which means these are a 1, 3 pair. This is a 2. And these can basically be anything. What did I say? 5 and 1 in this order, and then 2, 4. I have something better before actually figuring this one out. So we have 1, 2, and 3. So 4, 5, and 6 have to be there. I mean, this is not a 6, obviously, because of this, but those are 4, 5, or 6. Oh, even better. No, it's the same with 1, 2, and 3, where 2 is always either next to 1 or 3. It's the same with 5. None of these can be ever a 5, because if this is a 5, and this is a 4 or 6, 5 is always consecutive, so the 5 is never here, it is actually here. Now we have a 4, 6. Okay, well, now we cannot have a 5, 1, just because if this is a 5, this is nothing, because it's 5, 4, and 5, 6 are, again, consecutive. So this is never 5, 1. So this is a 2, 4 pair, which means what? Oh, this is neither a 2 nor a 4 now. Let me think now. Well, we figured out this is the arrow. So it's good to figure out which one is the German and which one, German whisper, and which one is the entropic. Now, for the red, it's still the same. We know nothing from the beginning, but we do have some stuff here. Oh, yeah, no, this is never a German whisper. Because if we go with low and high, let's do it like water. Water cold is low. Those are low digits. Below 3.5. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 is low, and 4, 5, and 6 is high. And red is hot. So this breaks, because in a German whisper, they always have to be alternating. So because this is low, 1 or 3, the next one has to be high. Well, this will be then low. Now this is high, the next one has to be low, but this one is low as well. So, but this has to be, because low, high, low, this has to be high. But because both are low, this is not a German whisper. That breaks, so this is not the German, so this is the German whisper with high, low, high, low, high, low. Which means this one is the entropic line, because yeah, it makes sense, because let's say this is the one, low, middle, high, then we have low. So this one and this one are the same, either middle or either low. Good to know, but because of that, oh, I mean, we now know this is the German whisper, which means the parity is well, again, I don't know if it's called parity or not. I won't call it blue and red, low or high, because we don't know. I'll just do it like, oh, those are bad colors too. Now, what am I saying? Of course we know, because of the 7. What happens if those are all 4 or more? 4, 4, 4. That's 12. And we only have a 7. Or even if this was an X sum, 3 with 4 and 4. No. So these are all, okay, those are the low digits, which means these are the high ones. Should I just pencil mark all of these? So I know these are the low, and I know these are all the high. Now we have a 2 here, so this is not the 2. And interesting is, this is either low or middle, and this is also low or middle. And because they have to be always in sequence of 3, we know that this one is the high one. So 4, no, not 4, 5 or 6. So even if it's, let's say, low, high, middle, low, so this is always high. Because it's the same. This one is the, yeah, no. Sorry. This one and this one is the same. This one and this one is the same, and this one and this one is the same. But this cannot be a 5 because we have this 5. Sorry, I do have the conflict checkered because it will take me way too long to just scout everything. But yeah, so because this is 6, oh wait, that doesn't say much, except, okay, this cannot be 6 here. Because this is a German whisper, the highest is 5, so these can never be a 3. Oh, I can check what numbers are here. It's all the odd digits. Because we have 2, 4, and 6, so those are, not 1, 2, 3. 1, 3, 5. Oh, it's, okay, that's what I missed. It's basically that thing. So yeah, we don't have a 5. But because this is 2 or 4, it doesn't matter. These are never a 3. Because if it's 3 is always next to 2 or 4. So those are never the 3, which means this one here is the 3. Which makes this one a 1. Which makes this is a 4. Because of Sudoku. Oh, wow. Sorry, that really helps scouting. But unless my pencil marks are wrong, this should be... So we have... this is a 5. This is a 2. This is not a 5. So, okay, this is not a 4, just because it's not 3 apart. So this is a 6. This could still be anything, 2, 5, 2. So this is also a 6. Okay. Well, now we have the 2 here, yeah. So this is 4, 2. Because we have the 4 here, this is a 6, 4. Oh, we have a 1, 5 here, so this is a 2 indeed. Because of the 1, 5, so this is a 2. Oh, and because of the 1, 5, this is a 6. Okay, so this is the low. Now, and this is a 4. So this is the low, high, so this is a middle. So this is never a 1. This is a 3. And this is a 3 because it cannot be a 1. Which this is the 1. Which this is a 5, 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so this is not little killer. This is the X sum. Because this is 7. So this now has to be the killer, which is 3 with 2 is 5. So we need a 3 here. And now the 5 has to be there. What do we need next? 2, 1. Oh, we need a 1 and a 5 here. We have a 5, so this is 5, not 2. We need a 3 here. Oh, this has to be low. And because we already have a 2, this has to be a 1 now. 5. Oh, that was 1, 2. So we need a 3. This already has a 3, so this is a 3. We have 4 here. 1, 2 there. I mean, it's basically Sudoku now. Oops. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And we got this. So I've got, oh, only 19. Guys, come on. Solve this. This is amazing. Very nice. Yeah, it took me a bit to actually find this one, why it breaks the whatchamacallit, the arrow. But yeah, this is amazingly fun, and this incorporates GANXLE perfectly, because in the beginning it's chaotic and nonsense. We don't know which one is which rule, but once we figure them out, this turns out into a beautiful Sudoku. So thank you very much, Xenonetics. Again, sorry for if I'm butchering the name, for taking part. Congratulations on the €5 Steam gift card. Hopefully you actually got a nice game from them. And yeah, that's it for tonight. And I might have promised something. I need to check because it has been a long time ago. If yes, there might be a new Sudoku soon, but I don't know. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good night, or good day, or bye.